We finally have a dupe for the beloved Natasha Denona I Nude palette. This palette launched last year. I have done many videos with it. My palette is a little bit dirty because I truly do love it. But this palette is $69. It is a bit pricey, so Alter Ego created their Daylight palette. This palette is $22. You can also use my code ANGELA10 to save some money on top of that. This video is kindly sponsored by Alter Ego, but I just think they do a great job of duping their palettes. I've been doing these dupe comparison videos for years and years, and honestly, they crush it every time. But in this video, I'm going to start with some swatches. We'll do some side-by-side shade comparisons to see how they look. And then I'm going to show you how I got this kind of softer smoky eye using both palettes. So now is the time to guess. It is my favorite part. Which eye do you think is which? On one eye, I'm wearing Natasha Denona I Nude, and on the other eye, I'm wearing Alter Ego Daylight. Which eye is which? This is my left eye. This is my right eye. Okay, got your pick? Put it in the comment? Okay, good. I actually really love how my eye makeup turned out today, so I'm excited to show you this look, but let's get started with the swatches. All right, let's swatch out these two palettes and find the corresponding shades. This is Airy from Daylight and Fair from I Nude. Interesting, Fair did swatch kind of deeper, even though in the pan they look like the same shade. This is Fresh from Daylight and Wit from I Nude. This is Divine from Daylight and Mia from I Nude. This is Path from Daylight and Mesh from I Nude. Then we have Lucid from Daylight and Tender from I Nude. This is Candid from Daylight and Whisper from I Nude. Ooh, those two look pretty exact to me. This is Sunlit from Daylight and Sheen from I Nude. And this is one of my favorite shades from the palette. I just love the soft sparkle in the shade, and those two look pretty dang good to me. Then this is Shine from Daylight and Delilah from I Nude. So far, these shimmers are looking good. And then we have Mist from Daylight and Muse from I Nude. Okay, I know I just said I love these two shades, but I think Muse is my favorite shade from the palette, like my #1 shade. And this one doesn't look like an exact dupe swatched out, but of course we have to see how it looks on the eyes. This is Brisk from Daylight and Filigree from I Nude. I love this kind of deeper chocolatey brown. This is Fawn from Daylight. That did not swatch great. And Stone from I Nude. This is Embrace from Daylight and Vague from I Nude. This is Gleam from Daylight and Ella from I Nude. And then Glory from Daylight and Travertine from I Nude. And then last shade is Coffee from Daylight and Silhouette from I Nude. Now this shade, Silhouette, always swatches terribly for me, but I swear it performs good on the eyes, so I'm not going to judge that swatch. As usual, I feel like Alter Ego did a really good job at getting most of those shades right, and even with those more like sparkling wet effect shadows in Natasha Denona's palette, I feel like Alter Ego kind of got that formula right too, so I'm excited to try this on the eyes, so let's get started on that. And as always, when I do these eye videos, I will be using 2 different sets of brushes, so I'm not mixing the formulas together. I'm kind of in the mood to do something a little bit smokier today. I'm going to Cosas and Trader Joe's after this, so I will be wearing my smoky eye while grocery shopping. I'm gonna prime both of my eyes with the P.Louise base. I have the shade Rumor 1. This is a newer eyeshadow primer to me, but I really like that it has a tinted base to it. Like, this is really going to conceal your eyelids for any eyeshadow you put on top. And I also feel like it did a really good job at controlling my creasing, so I'm excited to try this again with both of these formulas. Like, this just really gives you a blank, clean canvas to work with. And then I'm gonna set both my eyelids with my face powder. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury face powder in the shade 1. And as always, I will list and link all the brushes that I'm using down below in the description box. Okay, eyes are primed and ready. Let's do the shadow. I'm gonna use Alter Ego on this side and Natasha Denona on this side. I'm gonna start with the lid brush in the shade Lucid from Daylight. And I'm gonna start by packing this shade on my eyelid. Like I said, I want to do something a little bit smokier today, so I'm kind of starting with the deeper shades. I'll build up the deep shades and then I'll blend them out. Picked up a little bit more shadow and I'm bringing this up a little bit higher on my eyelid, and I'm kind of stopping right at my eye socket right here. Now from I Nude, I'm going to pick up Tender, and same thing, just packing that on my eyelid. So far shade-wise, these are looking identical on the eyes. Okay, so I packed on that shade, and because I have slightly hooded eyes, like you see when my eyes are relaxed, the skin is covering my hood, I want to bring this deeper shade up to where you can see it right here, which is actually like kind of higher up once I lift up that skin. So I'm taking a little bit more of that shadow for each eye. I'm going to relax my face and kind of find that skin that is folding over and bring that shadow up to this fold. And this is going to help make your eyes not look so closed off if you have hooded eyes. Especially with the smoky eye, if you're using deeper shades, it can just kind of make your eye look closed off, so you have to place the shadow where you can see it when your face is relaxed. See just how much better that this eye looks compared to this one? So I'm going to build up that tender shade just a little bit more on this side. Okay, that shadow is packed on, and now I'm ready to do some blending because this looks very harsh and not that great. Now going back to daylight, I'm going to take a crease brush in that shade Path. So I have that shade on my brush like that, and I'm going to place this just kind of right on top of this harsh line and start to apply this shade, and that's going to help to blend out the deeper shade. And I am building up this Path shade a few times to get the color that I want in my crease. And then back to I Need a Nude, I'm going to take Mesh on a clean crease brush, and I'm going to use that to blend out and soften this eye. Now I'm going to go back to that shade I started with and just repack that on the lower part of my lid, very close to my lash line, because I want this to be the deepest part and then for it to kind of fade up and get lighter. And since I did so much blending, the shade will get kind of blended away, but that's totally fine because I can just add more. And then same thing, I'm taking Tender for this eye. And I feel like so far my eyes are looking very similar. Shade-wise, both the formulas are working great, so far so good. Now I want to add some sparkle to the top lid and kind of make this into like a smoky halo eye where it's deeper, but I have a bit of shimmer just like right in the center of the lid. So from Daylight, I'm going to pick up Shine on my finger. So I have it like that, and I'm just going to lightly press this down on the center of my eyelid. It definitely added something, but I want it to like pop even more, so I'm adding more on top. I love where this look is headed though. Okay, so that was about 2 layers of that shadow. Now let's try Natasha's side. So for this side, I'm gonna pick up Delilah on my finger. I love this shade from this palette, so I have high hopes for this one. And again, center of the eyelid. If I'm being really picky, I feel like this eye just looks a little bit deeper overall on the lid. That could be that I added more shadow to this eye or the shades, but like it's not that big of a deal, honestly. Now I'm just gonna take the crease brush I've been using for each eye and just softly blend around that shimmer. I think I want to add one more shimmer. I just have to, right? So I'm gonna take Mist from Daylight, and I just have a tiny bit of this, and this is gonna go on the very, very center of my eyelid. I just love the little halo effect that a bright shade in the center of the eyelid gives. I think it's so pretty. Okay, just a little something like that. It just kind of brightens up the center. So then for the Natasha Denona side, I'm gonna take Muse. So again, I have a little bit of it like that. I do feel like the sparkles on this eye are just a little bit better overall. They're a little bit more sparkly. I'm gonna go do my face makeup off camera, do my under eye concealer, and then we'll do the lower lash line together. Okay, my base makeup is done. Let's go back to the eyes. I think I'm gonna stick to the same shades that I've used already on my eyelid and in my crease. So from Daylight, I'm taking more Lucid on the tip of that lid brush, and I'm gonna run that across my entire lower lash line. Honestly, I probably should switch to a smaller brush, but I kind of like using this larger brush down here for the smokier look today. I think it kind of works. And then for the other eye, I'm taking Tender from I Need a Nude. And then for this eye, I'm taking more Path on the tip of my crease brush from Daylight, and I'm just using that to kind of smoke out the lower lash line a little bit more, kind of smooth and blend everything out. And then taking Mesh from I Need a Nude for the other eye. Now I'm going to take a nude eyeliner. I'm using Kosas Gravitate, and I'm going to run that along my waterline on both eyes. Now I'm going to pick up the dark brown shade from each palette. So this is Coffee, and I'm taking that on a small angled brush. And I'm just going to stamp that along my top lash line to add some definition. And then for the other eye, I'm taking Silhouette. Okay, I'm pretty much done. I feel like the lighter shimmer shade Muse on this eye is popping a little bit more than this one, so I think I want to add some more on this side just to even everything out. So again, that's the shade Miss, and I just want to retouch this up on the lower part of my lid. All right, mascara and lashes are on, and for my lashes, I'm wearing the Bright Lashes Half Lash in Whisper. Usually I trim my half lashes just a little bit to fit even more, just kind of like snug right on my outer corner, but today I didn't trim this lash at all, so it does kind of go in a little bit farther into my eyes, but this is one of my favorite lashes that I carry. And here's the final close-up of the two eyes. Here's what the rest of my makeup looks like today. I kept my lips so simple. I'm just wearing the Lawless Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Gloss, and this is a new shade, I think, and it's called Bon Bon, and it's just like a very light sheer pink, so I just popped that on top of my lips as is. And then I just added a tiny bit of the Makeup Forever lip liner in Wherever Walnut, just to add like a little bit of definition on parts of my lip line, but I've been liking a more just like natural lip, I guess, nothing too crazy. And then for my blush today, I'm wearing the Lawless Cream Blush in Gumdrop with the NYX Buttermelt Blush in Butta Together on top. And I really like how my makeup looks today with this kind of softer, smoky eye. I like that it's not too smoky and intense, but like I would still call this a soft, smoky eye. But now that the eyes are done, looking at them side by side, I don't think I can tell a difference. Like maybe just with those two shimmer shades, Delilah and Muse from I Need a Nude. Like I love those shimmers, and Natasha really nails her shimmer formula. So I do feel like they're maybe just a tad bit more sparkly on that side compared to Alter Ego, but that's really if I'm just being super picky about the differences. I've been doing these type of comparison dupe videos with Alter Ego palettes for years and years now, and I know that they have a great formula, and I just think their palettes are great for the people who really like the color stories of these high-end palettes, but this is just out of budget. It is an expensive palette, so to get this palette for I think $22 is such a steal. As always, I'm gonna link all the products and brushes I used today down below, and if you want to check out the Daylight palette, I'll leave my link and discount code down below for you. Thank you so much again to Alter Ego for sponsoring this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.